What up, YouTube? It's your boy Wabi, and this is the Politically Correct Show. And today I'm gonna talk about Joe Johnson and Shannon Sharp. Uh, Joe Johnson and Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco talking about Joe Johnson versus Carmelo Anthony in a hypothetical one-on-one. I'm gonna talk specifically just them current, that their current. Not their current, but their active when they were active as NBA players, not their current state now, because obviously I don't know if Joe Johnson got a bad back or if Carmelo got a bad knee, or you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say that it's very close. You gotta think about it in the categories, because you would think it'd be easy because you think of Carmelo and the star power Carmelo has, and he's just like top scorer in the NBA type deal, and you know Joe Johnson as well in his own right, but Melo is smooth with it, but you would think, through their careers that Melo is the better offensive player. But with one-on-one, it's obviously like different, So I put a lot of thought into it, like for the short amount of time that I was listening, because I was listening to Nightcap, and that's what brought up this conversation for me, is because I was like, yeah, that's interesting, because it's this close. It's very, very close, super close. Because you gotta think about the fact that Joe Johnson is like the king of one-on-ones. Like, he's ISO Joe. Like, I witnessed that in action, and he wasn't really even in his prime, and I witnessed that in action. And when I was witnessing it in action, man, it was just impossible to stop him, because, he stopped on the key, and hit that midi, or he'll do a little whoop whoop and he'll go right past you, He can body you and lay fillet in your mitt, Joe Johnson can shoot in your mitt, and then not only that, but Joe Johnson's also very clutch too. Like Joe Johnson, I've seen Joe Johnson make some clutch shots, some big shots, So uh, Joe Johnson, man, he ain't nobody to be messing with. He ain't nobody to sleep on, So when you talk about one-on-one, it's different. Like Carmelo, if I'm picking like a team, and like a 5-on-5, 3-on-3, 4-4, then I'm picking Carmelo all day over Joe Johnson, no matter what. I'm picking Carmelo all day, all day. But when it comes to one-on-one, I don't know who I'm gonna put my money on. It's pretty deep. So, like, I was even trying to look up the stats before here, and the their stats are pretty the same, So the eye test is the same. Well, now I'm not saying the same, but it's pretty evened out. Like, maybe Carmelo. I'd say maybe Carmelo shoots the midi a little better, but that's only like this much, and Joe Johnson shoots the three better. They both can go in, but I think Joe Johnson's a little better in. But then again, Carmelo is a more pure shooter than Joe Johnson, though. Uh, as far as mid range goes, blah blah blah. Like I said before, Joe Johnson got some with a 3-point shot. Um, but as far as, I won't say pure shooter, pure scorer, not shooter, because I think Joe Johnson has a better as a shooter lethally. Even though I feel like Carmelo's midi is probably a little better than Joe Johnson's, that's only a little bit. So I feel like Joe Johnson's shot is better, but it's more easier for Carmelo to score than it is Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson's gonna have to take a couple of dribbles, bop, 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 bop you up a little bit, make you dance a little bit, and then he's going in. Where Melo can just pump fake a little bit, ooh, and then you're already missing. You're already getting. The one pump fake is for the guys who, you know what I'm saying, just gonna try to block everything. And then the second pump fake is gonna be for you, and you're gonna try to get him by the second pump fake, and then he's gonna put his body into you, and then and one. Or he's gonna pump fake again, and he's gonna let you try to block it, and then he's just gonna go right down to the hoop. Bop. You know what I'm saying? So Carmelo to me is better 5-on-5, but you know, that 1-on-1 with that pump fake, man, is gonna be hard to defend. So, and Carmelo's the king of pump fakes. So, you know, Joe Johnson got his little moves, but so does Melo at the end of the day. But I think, man, ooh, I think I might give it to Joe Johnson. I think I might give it to Joe Johnson though. Just for the sake of the fact that one, I know Joe Johnson already be still working out and stuff because, you know, I've seen him on Instagram, blah blah blah, every once in a while in the blue moon, in the gym or whatever. So I'll give him that, you know, for a current state, you know. That's for the current, there we go. That's for the current. So I give it to Joe Johnson for both of them. Currently, probably, you know what I'm saying, because I've seen him already be fit and stuff, and he probably work out with Shannon Sharp too. So I'm assuming that he does. So, all right, cool. And then also, you can't just get rid of the name ISO Joe. Like I've seen him in ISO like so many times, you know, my damn self, you know, so I already know the deal, you know. So I guess what I'm saying is like, you know, we are made to be someone for a reason, and ISO Joe is made for one-on-ones. You know, made for one-on-one situations. Made for one-on-one. So, you know, you gotta give it to him for that. But you know, and then plus not only that, but he shoots a three better. And I think that's probably gonna be like the biggest difference and defense, because I feel like Joe Johnson's a better defender. So maybe he might get that steal that matters in that close game. So yeah, I'm looking at Joe Johnson a little more than Carmelo to win that. You know, I might bet on Joe Johnson before I bet on Melo 1-on-1, currently and actively. So yeah, I got Joe Johnson. So with that in mind, God bless you. God bless America. God bless the First State. God bless Carmelo. And God bless Joe Johnson. You already know the West. It's Wabi. We out.